When should I plan? This is a question we get all the time. We like to take this into a timeline of stages for our families so that we can give them a good idea. If the earlier you start, the better, just as it is with traditional planning. Stage 1 is the stage we call birth to 3. So what you're dealing with in stage 1 is a new diagnosis, a new baby, hopefully early intervention through your state. So birth to 3 programs where you can get OT, PT, and speech therapies. Some states have a waiver program that you can apply to at that stage. What I tell people that come to me in birth to 3 is so many high fives and so many hearts to them, because you are dealing with a lot of new things and you have a very new baby. So stage 1, we give everybody hearts and high fives if they come to us, but most of our families come after age 3. Our stage 2 is age 3 to age 18 of your loved one, and that is all school. It's a huge school section. So most of our kids get to go to developmental preschool at age 3. What we like to call that is practice IEP time. So if you haven't gone through an IEP, then that's a great time to practice, because your kiddo is in a class with all kids just like them. There's no other kids in early, what we would call preschool at that time. And it's a really good time to figure out what is an IEP, how does it work, what to ask for, and just kind of ask the teachers questions, very curious questions about how this is going to go on once they're in kindergarten. Now, age 15 is the time when we really start to talk about transition planning. So age 15 is when we start to think about if our child is going to graduate on time. So are they going to graduate at age 18, or are they going to be part of transitional school post 18? So a lot of our kids can go to school till age 21 or age 22. And that whole extra portion is to teach them about vocational things. So how are they going to function in the workplace, cook meals, live independently? So it's life skills. And so we start talking about it in the school district at age 15. The end of at stage 2 is what everyone talks about as the big transition. So in the eyes of everyone else, at age 18, our kids are adults. So we come into Social Security we need to apply for. We need to talk about guardianship alternatives, Medicaid. Are they going to be in college? These types of things start to rumble through your head at age 18. And you have to make some semi-serious legal decisions if you want to be help with decision making in that guardianship space. All of the planning we do is what we consider we want to give our kids an amazing life and keep them benefit eligible. So that's why it's so important before age 18 that we do all this planning, so that they're not having assets directly in their name. We're using vehicles to protect those assets, and that going forward, when we're around and not around, those benefits can stay in place. So stage 3, we kind of flip the timeline. It goes from your loved one's age 18 to parents' retirement. And you're like, Mary, why are we changing the bottom part of a timeline? Because that sounds crazy. Well, people have different kids at all different ages. So we try and just say at stage 3, that's from when your child turns 18 to your retirement. And that could be a very long period or could be a very short period, depending on when you had children. In this was the stage that I was most anxious about when Ruth was born, due to the fact that I don't know what's going to fill her day. So is she going to be able to work? Is she going to be able to live on her own? What kind of community is she going to be a part of? Because I don't want her to be just isolated with me and my husband, even though we're awesome. What is she going to socially and recreationally be able to do? And that stage could be pretty long. So I want her, that's for most people, the huge chunk of their life, from graduating high school to their retirement of even their parents. So it's just a huge stage. And I think we really discount it. But I think once our kids aren't in school anymore, we really have to do some planning about what's going to fill their day. And that's all stage 3 planning. Now, once we reach retirement age is when stage 4 starts. So stage 4 is from, this is the fun death stage, I like to call it, stage 4. This is the parent's retirement through the parent's passing and through the child's passing. The one marker I would like to have in here is there is a stage when you as a parent aren't going to be able to caregive for your child anymore. Now, I don't want to admit that. You probably don't want to admit that either. But I think caregiving has a certain amount of timeline. And I definitely thought Ruth would be with us forever until I pass. And the reality is I would really like to transition her into a different house while I'm still here, a different living situation, whatever that is, group home, whatever we can figure out. But I want to do that while I'm around, while I'm able to be a parachute for her, rather than me passing away, her having this huge transition, having to maybe move out, whatever that means. So in stage 4, I think we have to think of that. Now, when is the best time to plan is the question we get. The earlier, the better. The earlier you plan, the more options you will have later. So I don't push, I guess, stage 1, birth to 3. If we could get out of birth to 3, and once your kiddo's age 3, then we can start doing the planning. But it's never too late. It's just our options start to get more limited the longer we wait.